Hey everybody, welcome to the first official episode of The Verdict, a Dead Funny new Dead Funny show. This is the pilot episode, and I'm more than happy to say that it's going to be on Resident Evil 8, which both me and JoJo are the Resident Evil fans of Dead Funny. So, unfortunately, James didn't get it. I thought he was going to because he got his new computer, but he didn't get it. He doesn't play Resident Evil anyway, so it is what it is. I was like, you should probably play 7 first and then come play 8, and I 100% stand behind that now. So
it helps to know who the guy on the box art is.
Yeah, just a little bit, right? Yeah, it's Chris. Yeah, that guy. So the verdicts, for those of you who are obviously watching this for the first time, because this is the first episode, and I'll do a quick explanation of the show for the first couple episodes, and after that, it should be pretty routine by then. But basically, with the verdict, me and JoJo, and then whenever other cast are on here as well, we are going to give out 3 different categories. First category will be the good, what we thought was good about the game. Second category, the bad, what we thought was bad about the game. It'll be a collective idea all throughout the entire group. So you'll see some pretty cool transitions pop up to let you know when we're moving into the next category. And then at the end, we will give the stamp of approval or deny the stamp of approval. That's right. Those of you who are longtime Dead Funny fans, you might remember a little show called The Review Block. That was a solo gaming show that I did, and that is where that started. We're bringing it back. We are bringing it back. So, hopefully you guys enjoy this. This is the kind of content you like to see, and you found this extremely helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Basically, the reason why we had the idea to make this show is to kind of help. As newer games come out and newer consoles come out, the prices keep going up and up and up. And we've already got told that with the new gen consoles, we're going to see prices go up by another $10. That is pretty steep for a game to just take a risk on. This is a chance for us who have already gotten the game to give you a little bit of a better look without too much of spoilers to know whether or not it's worth putting your money into this game. That's the whole purpose of the show. Hopefully it serves its purpose. But let's go ahead and jump into Resident Evil. So Resident Evil is a game series that's made by Capcom. If you don't know who Capcom is, they're a long-standing gaming company. Go check them out. They've got tons of different stuff. I strongly suggest you look into the Resident Evil series if you like a little bit of action and a little bit of the horror genre there as well. And honestly, the majority of the stories they've had have been pretty good. I don't really think there's too many critically acclaimed bad Resident Evil games out there. Besides, I know 6 and Raccoon City were just people just did not like.
A couple of the spin-offs.
Yeah.
Have been, but 6 is the only main one.
That people were like, yeah. Other than that, I mean, 5 was my favorite, and then I played 7, and then 7 was I like Chris Redfield. Chris Redfield.
Oh no, guy. Yeah, we'll get into this another time.
Exactly. So, and then 7, and then now 8. Honestly, so and we'll get into that. Wow. Yeah, it jumped up the list, but we'll get into that.
Spoiled the last thing for the video.
No, not even close. It could be good for me, but that doesn't mean I'm going to completely give it the stamp for someone else to play. It's gotta be open to everybody. You know what I mean? Sure. I like horror, you know what I mean? Not everybody that watches this like horror, so it's got to hit multiple points for me to be like, okay, cool, I'll get this. Anyways, but we should go ahead and jump into it before I do give stuff away. We'll go ahead and jump into the good. All right, so let's get started with the good. So my list starts off with graphics. Graphics, in my opinion, were fucking amazing. The quick transitions in the game that happen so many times, from you trying to get in somewhere and somebody catching you, and the quick pull arounds, the transition from cutscene to game related, so smooth. Hardly any issues whatsoever. I actually think I might have peaked what my computer can do with this game. So I'm going to have to be looking into upgrades soon. But yeah, graphics were a big one for me. Voice acting. I loved the voice acting, mainly due to... there's a lot of stuff that I liked with Chris, but mainly due, and most of you have seen this character, that's why I'm talking about it right now, because we're not going to try to do too many spoilers, but as everybody calls her, the tall vampire lady. We'll talk about her. Just the way that she kind of had the accent that fit her lifestyle was perfect. They did such a good job voice acting wise. Story, fucking phenomenal. Just fucking phenomenal. I loved every part of this story. It had me on literally the edge of my seat the entire time, including going into two other parts on my list, which basically wraps up the exact same thing: the mystery behind all this stuff, which you know what I'm talking about. Now people don't yet, and lore of these characters that they built into the game. Kind of, like I said, really, really good. That being said, merchant system. They brought it back. So I can't remember if 4 was the last one they had it, but they brought back their merchant system. I think it was great. 7.
Definitely in 5.
It was in 5? Okay, so then 5 would be probably the last game they had it. Maybe 6. I didn't play 6. I heard that it was terrible and I didn't have the money to get it at the time. And so then I was like, I'm just going to stay away from it. So
we should play 6.
We should play 6? I know it's co-op.
Yeah, you and I.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll have to set that up then. I'm totally down. If it's for content, I'm down. But so weapon system. Moving on to the weapon system. I guess to finish out the merchant system, the merchant guy. I'll let JoJo get more into this because I know he's excited about it. Merchant guy was awesome. Merchant guy was fucking awesome. I loved him. But weapon system. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed certain aspects, and I do have the weapon systems. I think the only thing on my list that's on both sides. So I'll get to the bad here in a second. The what thing I liked about the weapon system is that it wasn't too complex. It was kind of easy to like gauge out everything far out, so you can kind of figure out what you want to do with your weapons early on, which I thought was pretty slick. For someone like me who's OCD, my next item, map completion. Fucking A, that was amazing. Like, being able to be like, this room is red. It means that there is something in here that you have not gotten yet. Go back to it. Perfect. I literally spent so much time in so many rooms just looking around like, all right, what the fuck am I missing here? There's something in this room for me to find. So that was very helpful. Character development. Character development in such a short time with as many bad guys as we had. The character development, I felt, was done extremely well. Especially when you get to the end of the game, you get a little bit more lore and stuff about them that you'll be able to read. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. And then mystery and lore, which, once again, I covered already in the story. So that's pretty much what I had for my good points. JoJo, if you want to go ahead and take it away and let me know what you thought was good about the game.
And I agree with a lot of what you've said, for sure. I'll say graphically. Also, I played on PS5. It still looks really good.
Did you? Yeah, I played it on the computer, so yeah.
So character models, especially those look like some humans, man. Chris,
right?
Chris especially looks like a dude.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing. And there is a like Tim Burton sort of like intro animation. Like
yes, yeah, the story
animated like a cartoon, like totally different thing. Looks incredible. That was pretty amazing. I will say, I like the characters a lot. I like how there is a fun, weird merchant, again, like in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
That's, like the funny, memorable thing about 4 is the guy going, "What you buying, stranger?" This guy, pretty good also. The map stuff, very important. Filling in all that stuff. I want to know where I'm getting, because there's things that are very subtly hidden.
Yes.
And so not knowing if there's still some little thing you gotta shoot.
Yes.
It's infuriating. So that's great. Plot stuff is cool. I generally liked the story. I'll say when there was stuff earlier on was like, I don't know about what the story is doing, they explained it.
Yes.
Later on in a way that I found satisfying.
Absolutely, 100%.
Things that I written down is like, I don't like this. Became, okay.
Okay, yeah, this is fun now.
Yeah.
It's not just magic.
I was saying in comparison to 7 that I thought 7 was very good, but was so tense. Like, I'm not a horror guy, really. Like, I don't know how much I enjoyed 7, even though I, like, respected it, I guess, This game still has horror stuff, but is way more playable. Like, I mean, there's way better action. So, like, I had a much better time playing this, I would say. And that's, the weapon system, all mostly disagree about those points, I think.
Yeah? You didn't like the weapon system?
I do like the weapons. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you did. Okay. Yes. Gotcha.
Mostly I just agree, not disagree.
Just agree. Okay, gotcha.
I feel like that covers it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, you pretty much had about basically all the same points together. So yeah. Other than that,
I'll say there's a couple really cool boss fights also.
Yes, the boss fights were really, really good. I thought they were done well. So yeah, those were definitely interesting as well. And I also very much enjoyed how they did the same thing they did in 7. It was kind of cheesy because they did the exact same thing, but where it's like you get knocked out somehow and then you immediately wake up in your room with everybody you're going to face in the game right off the bat. So they did the same thing in 7 with the entire Baker family, and then bam, turn right back around here in the room with all of the baddies, which I believe is a trailer that's out too. Yeah, so this kind of shows you everybody. So yeah, so the trailers and all that stuff are out there. I guess to kind of, because this is a first show, when we cover certain things, anything that's trailer related, we don't consider spoilers. So if you're trying to keep yourself 100% spoil free, you might be in some dicey waters. If you've at least watched trailers, you should be relatively safe. So that being said, at your own risk. But if that's all you had, that's all I had. Let's go ahead and jump right into the bad. All right, now we're going to go ahead and jump into the bad. JoJo, why don't you start us off on what you thought was bad about the game?
Okay, I will say that a lot of this is about structure, I guess, not in like plot. Okay. I'll say first off, Chris Redfield. If you've played the series before, he's the main character of the series. He's in this game too. I don't like how he looks and sounds because that's not Chris Redfield. Like this is
That's fair.
They have changed his design and his voice to a point where why? This guy had a voice actor for a bunch of years. The current guy, taken in a vacuum, is fine. Like it's not like he's doing a bad job. It's just why it doesn't feel like the same guy to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which I find frustrating. I will say, there's talking about the scene where they capture Ethan and you see the 4 boss people. I'll say 2 of those 4 boss characters I feel get kind of shafted.
Yes, dude! That's on mine too. 100%.
2 of them, Tall Vampire Lady and Glasses Man, get good,
perfect,
substantial sections to them. The sections the other 2 characters get are just relatively short. And you don't get enough time with them, I think. Also, I just kind of didn't like the part of the game about the doll lady in general. But that's a pretty small part of the game. It's not a huge deal. Also, the main character is like, he's fine. He gets the job done. But like, Resident Evil's got fun characters, and the main guy you're playing as is not that much.
Not
fun,
one
I
of them.
guess. Then this is like very specific to like what I was hoping out of this game, but like I think the best thing, maybe my favorite section in any game, that's maybe superfluous. I mean, that's maybe saying a bit too much, but like the village section of Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite parts of any video game ever. And so I thought this would, talking about like the parts where you barricade yourself in and find a bunch of dudes coming at you, and I feel like this game dropped that aspect of it a little too quickly. That never felt all that relevant after like the first encounter or so, because you're
talking about the werewolves?
You can block doors with shelves.
Yeah.
You can shoot these flour bags to like make dust. Oh no! And then, but like that just gets dropped pretty quick, I feel. So that was a little, and Resident Evil 4's pistol getting headshots on dudes always felt amazing. I felt like the most basic enemies in this game took too many headshots to take down, which made the headshots not feel as good.
That's fair.
Just something so satisfying about it in 4 that was less satisfying.
Yeah, I can definitely, I agree with that, where it's like, like if it takes 6 shots to take down an enemy, in this game it still takes 6 shots regardless where you hit them. So yeah, I mean, unless you're using a sniper rifle, that was it. So
right, and like, so it's not like even like a complaint about difficulty. It's just about like, if you made them half as strong but then put in twice as many, cool. It's just like I want the gun to feel good in a way, but mostly the guns feel good. It's just very specific.
That's fair. No, I can understand that. I completely understand that. Sweet. Okay, well then, yeah. With mine, I mean, you covered a lot of the topics that I had. A couple, yeah. I mean, literally, my topics were the use of the bad guys. Completely agree with you. So once again, they were all in a trailer. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Yeah, like he said, Vampire Lady and Dude with Glasses. I believe his name's Heisenberg. I can't remember, but something like that. Yep, Heisenberg. Literally, both of them, fucking great bosses. I think my first playthrough, it took me about close to 6 hours to get out of the castle. Like 6 hours to literally get completely through and out of the castle. And that's just dealing with her and her fucking daughters, which we've also seen in the trailer. The other two, I think I cleared the doll lady in like 45 minutes. Maybe shorter, maybe more towards 30. So yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think both of them got shafted. The fish guy, it would be the other one that we're talking about, also got shafted. What pisses me off the most, though, where I disagree with you, is I was more excited for the doll person than anybody else in the game. And I feel like with the lore that I talked about on the good list, they had built in so much that they could have used, but it was like, we don't want to make like 4 gigantic locations. We're just going to make 2 gigantic locations, and then also some short little location for Heisenberg as well. Which is fucking stupid. And then we're gonna just give these guys like their own short little spot for you to like. It was really weird to me. Like it was super quick, super quick.
I felt like they knew people liked the part in 7 where there was like an escape room kind of thing, and they're like,
right,
how do we fit that into this game?
Right. Yeah. So then weapon upgrades. I talked about the weapon system that I liked it. I did not like the weapon upgrade system in this. I feel that most of the weapon upgrades, especially when you had a secondary version of the weapon, it was minuscule at most to switch out between them. I know that the secondary pistol versus the first pistol, if you maxed them both out with their attachments on, and that's including a fucking compensator on the first one, you only beat out the first pistol by 10 power. That seems very small for the amount of money you put into these fucking upgrades and everything else that you're putting into these weapons.
Actually, I would say that I was bummed that the first pistol got overshadowed by that second pistol entirely, though, because
by the fire rate. The fire rate's why it overshadowed it.
Right.
Big time.
I would like for each gun to have some merit to itself. You know, even if like this one isn't automatic, then it should hit a little harder.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nope, completely understand. And then, my other biggest complaint, you kind of already touched on, the main character, Ethan, the main man, Ethan fucking Winters. I liked a lot of the voice acting. I get where you're coming from with Chris. If this is going to be the Chris we're moving forward, it's not the worst case scenario by any means, so I'll take it. It's just more of like battle-hardened Chris. I mean, I even kind of got, where he's just like, fucking, it's been goddamn 3 years of this shit, type deal. So I get it. Battle-hardened Chris, if that's where we're going to move, whatever it is, what it is. But Ethan Winters, the part when you're in the fucking castle and the fucking chick knocks you down and you hit the ground, she's like, I'm going to tear you to ribbons when I find you. He's like, do your worst. I'm like, let's be realistic, right? Like, this motherfucker, no. There's no way you're going into this castle talking all this shit. You're completely out of your depths. Like, trust me, I get it. The shit that happened in Louisiana was fucking nuts. It was fucking nuts. This is a whole nother ball game. This is a whole nother fucking ball game. You got a chick who can make her fingers turn into Wolverine claws within seconds, and you got fucking goddamn chicks that are turning into flies. Like, this is a completely different ball game. Like, let's be real. So
at some point his dialogue is all just like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a jerk. But, and not fun.
Yeah. I'm not obviously going to spoil it. We'll say that for the review show, but you know what I'm saying with this.
Make use of the character. There's like
make use of it. Exactly.
It makes sense to continue his story here. Just he is boring.
Yes, a little bit. Yes, absolutely. That's pretty much all I had. But other than that, then I guess we'll go ahead and jump right into the last segment, which is the stamp. All right, and now time for the stamp. Does Resident Evil get the stamp? Now, just to kind of break down for you folks at home to understand, this is a chance for all of us to bring our collective thoughts together and maybe give each other a chance to think of something different that we possibly didn't. Yeah, all of us, all 2 of us, for sure. There will be other people on the show at some time as well. But anyways, That being said, the stamp is still individual. So take it as you want. Some people, you might be here for a Nintendo game. JoJo's going to have way more depth in that than I'm going to. So you might, want to listen to his opinion a lot more than you're going to listen to mine. I might give it the stamp. He might not. There might be a good reason for that. He'll obviously list it in his fucking things. So whenever it comes to this, I know that there's going to be different opinions, and that's completely fine. That is what this show is made for. We want to give you all of the facts that we have as far as the good things that we found about the game, the bad things. Well, I guess not really facts, more opinions. But anyways, the good things we found about the game, the bad things we found about the game. We'll give our own individual thought process right here, and then you choose to do with that what you will. For me, Resident Evil 8, as I've stated earlier in the show, it is now my favorite Resident Evil. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Loved 5, big Chris Redfield fan. When 7 came out, the tense, creepy atmosphere that you talked about, fucking loved it. I mean, I'm a horror fan. Fucking loved it. Jumped right in. I said 7 is fucking amazing. I feel that they took the creepy atmosphere, not so much the tense, because I really feel like you only get that in the castle and at the very beginning whenever you don't understand how the werewolf attacks are. But once you kind of understand what to do with that, I agree with you. They became like once I got weapons, I didn't give a shit. I was dropping werewolf bodies left and right. I didn't fucking care. But the castle was still creepy. And it was like, even though you got a point to where it was like, we all know this, it's already been discussed in the trailer, that the madam is a fucking stalker enemy. I mean, Resident Evil does this all the fucking time. There's multiple stalker enemies throughout the series. She's a stalker enemy. It's like, okay, cool. Now I've just got to look for my way around that. But then at the same time, you also get situations where the daughters will still fuck with you. And then, like, you're trying to get away from them, and then as you run away from them, you just hear them scream, "Mom!" And then she comes around the fucking corner. And it's like, holy shit. Like, there's a lot to go on. And whenever you're sitting here in a fucking castle that's massive, I think there's, like, fucking total, like, 4 floors going all the way down, and you're looking through all these fucking rooms and everything, and that's not even counting the 2 fucking floors of the dungeon as well, so 6 floors total. You're looking through all these fucking rooms trying to complete this shit, and you're trying not to get fucking shish kebabbed by the madam and fucking beat up on by the sisters. It's a lot. It's a lot to take. So they did the perfect combination, and I think they lightened up a little bit on the tenseness, because I did read a report where they did have some people fall off on Resident Evil 7 because they couldn't get through it, because they were just too jarred playing the game. It was just like, it was a lot. And so I think it was very...
Insect Lady, I didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah. Like the Insect Lady was creepy as shit. And that's the thing. They made every single, in my opinion, every single boss in that was a stalker. Except the brother, obviously, was just a locked-in room. I mean, that was what it was. And it was great. Don't get me wrong. I liked the locked-in room. It was fun. But, so I think that they were like, let's give the 7 fans what they wanted in the first part of this game. And then the rest can kind of go back to like a normal transition of Resident Evil. So that way, the people who are just like on the edge of their seat with nerves can kind of calm down a little bit and then kind of settle into what would be considered a normal Resident Evil. And I think they did a great job. I think they 100% did a great job with that. So the story, the lore, and the characters alone for this game carry it for me. I 100% am okay with saying that this game gets my stamp of approval. What about you, JoJo?
Yes. So, when 6 came out and was bad, like they had made it too actiony was the complaint people had, and so 7 they way over adjusted back in the other direction to do this like heavy horror thing, and so I think here they managed to get the balance of how to make it a functioning action game, like with actual variety in guns and enemies, and unlike the previous game had, and still make it more unsettling than more action-heavy games had been. But yeah, much more manageable for me. So, yes, I mean, Resident Evil for me is 4. Like that's the game. Of 5 also though.
Yeah, 4 was really good.
And a few of the others. Like I like the series in general. But so this doesn't quite live up to 4 for me, because 4 is this amazing thing that
the 4 is considered the GOAT. So
I mean, yeah, like it's just game that doesn't have Leon can't be as good as Resident Evil 4.
Leon is the boy.
But for as a continuation of the series, as an attempt to do a first person version of what 4 was doing, I think it really works really well. It gives me it is a game I would replay on a higher difficulty when I'm done, probably, because the parts where you're fighting feel really good.
Yep.
And I don't think they had to totally compromise the horror stuff in the way they had in a couple other games to get the good feeling action.
Sweet.
So it's really successful in that regard, and yeah, I would absolutely give it my stamp.
There we go. Well, you heard it here first, folks. As far as the Resident Evil fans of Dead Funny are concerned, this game gets this stamp. It is obviously already out. Next week on Wednesday, you will see a review show with JoJo and myself where we actually talk about the game in detail versus kind of giving you just the bullet points on the good, the bad, and then the stamp. That being said, that will 100% be spoilers. 100%. We're going to leave no stone unturned. It's our chance to praise the game on certain parts, bitch about the game on certain parts, and then end it how we want to end it. But yeah, so make sure you check that out as well. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you guys enjoyed this content, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, turn on the notification. That way you get notified next time we upload another video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and views on Resident Evil if you've played it. Or, once again, this show is a new show. As you did see, gameplay came on midway through the show. That's because I fucked up. It happens. It's a new show. But it's here. We'll get better as we go along. But comment section below. Let us know what you thought about the show. That absolutely helps whenever we're trying to come up with new ideas on how to keep coming out with entertainment for you. But other than that, we also have the merch down below. Don't forget to check that out, and our Twitter and Twitches as well. But if you enjoyed this, make sure you like it, and we will see you next week.